of Hope, day 328. So nice to meet you and nice to see you again. Daily Dose of Hope is just that. The energies on our planet have been increasing and will continue to increase. And as they do, the world around us tends to look more and more like a low-budget science fiction film. So what a daily dose of hope is to allow us to find that middle space between the yin and the yang symbol. There's the two polarities of the yin and yang, but if you look at this yin and yang symbol, you find that there's a little line in the middle, and you can walk that middle line, and you don't have to be a part of all these things that are happening around you. So that is what a daily dose of hope is, and yes. Another thing I wanted to share about the Daily Dose of Hope is that, or about what's going on now, is my guides have shared that up until this point, the low-budget science fiction movie has been relatively easy to understand. I mean, it's low budget, but we can follow along. We kind of get the idea. But as things start to progress, things are going to get more and more surreal. Things are going to start looking stranger and stranger. And this is just that we're opening up to our multidimensional selves. We're open up to the idea that we aren't just one body, that we are existing in many different dimensions simultaneously. And so the logic will turn into multidimensional logic. But this can be a bit confusing at first. So I wanted to share that. So today, I just wanted to share, let's see, recently or yesterday, I went to a radon spa, a radon sauna. I've been just going to, what are they called? They're just local baths around my house. In Japan, they used to have, back, I would say about 60 years ago or so, not many people had baths in their house. And so everyone would just go to the local bathhouse. And you wouldn't usually take a bath every day either. But you just go to the bathhouse and take a bath. And it's just a community thing. You get together, talk with everyone. It's kind of fun. You can go there with your friends and stuff. And that idea is, everyone has baths now, so people don't really do that as much. But there are still those bathhouses still exist all over the place, all over Japan, all over my neighborhood. And so recently I've just thought it might be fun to just kind of go from one to the other and see what they're like. And they're pretty interesting. Hey, Michael. Michael, you say, cool website graphics. Is that new? Nope, it's the same one. Yeah. It doesn't appear on smartphones for some reason. No idea. It only appears on computers. And I don't know if many people use computers anymore. Yeah, I got to get that fixed. So yeah, these local baths though, and I went to one, and then I just went to another one yesterday. And this one, I was very interested in it because it said they have it's a radon bath, and so I wanted to talk about radon a bit today. But first, so this bath that I went to, it was really nice. It's really small. And there was the sauna in the back, and I went in and I was talking to the guys there, and I was like, is that where the radon's coming from? They're like, yep, right there from the wall. And the reason I'm interested in this is because when I went back to the States, I was, talking to family members, and they were talking about how they have a radon meter in the basement to check how much radon is, because radon, it's considered a toxic thing in America. And so everyone's looking for ways to mitigate that, looking for ways to get rid of radon. And then just to come back into my town and see, like, oh, look, there's a radon hot spring. For me, that was really interesting, like what a difference in culture. And this is actually something that I'd like to make a really nice long video about the bath cultures around the world and what happened to them. But today is not that day. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about radon, and I'm experimenting with this screen sharing thing here. So radon, let me just give you like a background about. So radon is a colorless, odorless, tasteless radioactive gas that occurs naturally from the decay of uranium, thorium, and radium in rocks and soil. It can accumulate in buildings, in basements. Long-term exposure to high levels of radon is a significant health risk, as it is a leading cause of lung cancer. So this is from American scientist, clevelandclinic.org. Radon therapy. What is radon therapy? So, in a few different countries around the world, it's a medical treatment that uses naturally produced radon gas in specific amounts to relieve pain and combat fatigue. Let's see if I can find it here. This is a site for it. If you look here, they have all these different places in Europe. There's Germany, Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic, and all these places have radon therapy. And so here they talk about it. Relieve pain and combat fatigue. Let's see. Yeah. First discovered by Madame Curie. And so in the early 20th century, it was used in Europe and throughout the Czech Republic to treat rheumatism and arthritis. So it's still used in many spas throughout Europe and in Japan. So, and the idea is here, this is the main idea. So it's intake of a limited amount of radon. So a lot of radon is probably not good for you, right? Just as anything is probably not good for you. But here's what they talk about. They talk this thing, it's called hormesis phenomenon. Hormesis, and they say that low amounts of stress to the body from chemicals, heat, or ionizing radiation can stimulate the immune system and have a beneficial effect, even though higher doses of same chemicals would be harmful. So here are the things that they work on: arthritis, rheumatism, neuralgia, scleroderma, which is something with your skin, all these different things. And yeah, so it's very interesting. And they also have contraindications, like if you're pregnant or for children or adolescents, or if you have hyperthyroidism. So these sorts of things. So there are contraindications, but if you look here, look at all these different radon therapy spas here in Europe, or there in Europe. And so I was looking through that, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And then I discovered this site here, or not this site, but this article written by this man named T.D. Lucky, and he was talking about radiation hormesis. And so it's accepted in France, China, and Japan. And they show thousands of studies of stimulation and or benefit with no harm. So it's pretty interesting. Now, in this article, there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff here, but I'm just going to go, let me see. Bear with me here. Let's see. Where do we have it? Okay, so what he's talking about, there's thousands of people who live in good health with high background radiation, but a lot of places like the US and other governments are there's a non-acceptance of this idea of radiation hormesis. And let's see. So he just goes through different studies. Let's see. So here's one that's interesting from the French Academy of Sciences. Let me see if I can find it in here. The French Academy of Sciences. Where is it here? He just goes through. This would be an interesting read if you're interested. Let's see. 3,000 scientific research papers show that low dose irradiation is stimulatory. Here it is. Here you go. Linear no threshold. So low doses of radiation. Let's see. It's not here. Hold on. Here it is. The incidence of solid cancers decreased in 21,500 exposed workers at Mayak, a Russian plutonium production complex. The total cancer deaths in 8,600 cleanup workers at Chernobyl was 12% lower than that of the general Russian population. So he just goes into all of these different case studies. And it's very, very interesting. There's also something in here that he talks about. Where is it? His contention is that premature cancer deaths are caused by insufficient radiation. Good evidence comes from 151,676 accidentally exposed workers in the nuclear industry. nuclear ships, bombs, and power plants. There was no healthy worker effect because the exposed workers were matched with unexposed workers in equivalent jobs in the same factory, the same sex, age, economic, and sociological conditions. So what they found, it decreased the total cancer death rate by 48%. And so his final contention is that these data indicate that the United States has about 275,000 preventable premature cancer deaths each year. The cause is attributed to insufficient radiation. Each of the above examples indicates that we live in a state of partial radiation deficiency. The combined effects suggest we need radiation supplementation for more abundant health. So, and I think that's at the bottom here. I'm sorry, I'm reading from parts of this set. But I recommend, let's see, I think this is all the way at the bottom. I recommend checking this out if you're interested. I found it to be really interesting. If you look also in radium too, let's see, it used to be used as heating systems. They used to use radium foot warmers, and there is also some people who are saying that this is something from Stolen History, and it's also from Mind Unveiled. They were also talking about this, that if you look at old fireplaces, that you don't see the effects of fires being burned in them. They should have a lot more wear and tear on them. And so it's possible that instead of a fire, they're putting radium in there. And but yes, so here's, people used to use radium for cooking, radium water, and let's see, so that's that, and also for health as well. These are old newspaper clippings. All kinds of different things they used to use radium for. Drives out uric acid. It's a bug killer. It's used for beauty. Here's radium beauty. Right? Okay, so this is the idea, right? They have all of these different things, but then in the main story that people know about radium these days is they know about this movie called The Radium Girls back in 2018, about these women. The story is set, of course, a long time ago, but they were painting the dials of cameras, and of watches. And so these are the watches that glow in the dark, right? And they used to use radium for that. And these girls, women who were working in the factory, started getting really sick. And so it was assumed that it was the radium that was making them sick. Now, we don't know for sure because we weren't there, but that is the story. And that is the main narrative that's in our world at this moment about this radium. And so I'm just presenting this idea. I think it's interesting. But in places like France and Germany and Japan, China, it's not accepted in that way. It's considered something different. So it's very interesting to me. How did this happen, and why did it happen, and what's the reason behind it? And so, yes, that was what I wanted to talk about. In Japan, I was checking on Amazon in Japan. They have lots of radium things, so you can buy like radium stones to put in your bath every night. And they have radium water jugs, and so these things I'm sure are very much illegal in the United States, but it's just so interesting I just traveled back from there, and so it's the difference of things that are legal and illegal. In the States now, like there are these vape shops and they have everything there, and that's highly, not good here. So it's very interesting. Michael, you say, I was watching a doco on the Radium Girls the other day. Yeah, it's kind of coming up in the news a lot too, which is interesting. I don't know if it was that which influenced me to go to notice this radon place, or if it was vice versa. I'm not sure, but something about it seems to be coming up now, and I thought I would just bring it up. I don't know for sure. I just went to the radon bath one time. I'm not sure. I think it's good to consult with a professional who knows about that kind of stuff if you're interested in doing stuff like that. But for me, it's just really interesting. I went back to the States, and there's a lot of Vaseline glass, or the Vaseline glass, the green glass, And a lot of people in my family love to go antique shopping, and so they're saying, "Oh yeah, we see it all the time. It's all over the place," you know. And I even got some vase-line glass marbles, and when you shine a fluorescent light on them, they glow. And so it's really interesting stuff. And so this vase-line glass has a bit of uranium in it, trace elements of uranium. And so I haven't done a lot of research about it, but some are saying that people used to drink this because of the health benefits of it. And so this might be the same idea of let's see if I can pronounce it, hormesis. Yeah. This idea, where is it? Radiation hormesis. So I'm not sure. Hold on. This radiation hormesis. So, but for me, it's a very interesting thing. So I'm just looking into it, and I'm just curious about these things. I've found that these things exist right in front of our faces all of the time, and we don't really know much about them, and a lot of them are kind of brushed under the rug. And so I am neither, of course, I'm not a medical expert by any means. I'm just showing you what I discovered, and that I find it very interesting. That's all. But yeah, I can't recommend anyone to do anything, but I can say that if you're interested, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I'll include some links at the bottom. But yeah, what an interesting thing. So. And what else did I want to say about that? I guess that was it about that. Yeah, just a very interesting idea. And one of the things when I go to the hot springs in Japan, before you go in, they usually have a big plaque, and it tells you all the different things that are in that hot spring. You know, so there's a little bit of uranium, there's a little bit of fluoride, there's a little bit, you know, anything that's naturally occurring under the ground. And it used to kind of trigger something in the back of my mind. I think, well, that's not good. Uranium? I don't want to take a bath in uranium. Like it's going to kill me. But over time, living in Japan, I just kind of stopped thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But now I'm starting to think about it again. It's very interesting how, and this is related to the bath culture as well, that I want to do like a really good, like long thing about, because it's a very interesting thing, and channel about it as well. But so bath culture, right? We all, here, I'm going to turn this off here. Hold on a second. So, okay, bath culture. So we all, hold on, stop screen sharing. Okay. So hold on, let me close this thing here. Okay, so back in history, right, we know about the Roman baths, right? There used to be these Roman baths, and people would, yeah, take a bath all the time. And the Roman Empire was quite large, and it expanded all over the place. And so there's even a place in England called Bath, England, and there are baths there, and there's baths in Turkey, and there's baths pretty much everywhere you go. But a lot of them are not used anymore, except for in certain countries. For example, Japan, and a little bit of Taiwan, I think there's also, and I think in Turkey, and there's a few other places that are used, Germany. So what happened to this bath culture, and why are some countries allowed to continue this bath culture and others not? What happened to stop that culture? And yeah, so I just wanted to share that, and I'll go into that a little bit more, because it's fascinating to me, and also because I love the baths here. They're so great. To be able to take a bath here is just wonderful. Like, and take in the healing waters. So that's my kind of spiel. That's what I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I'm gonna go into a channeling. I hope that wasn't too long, but it's very fascinating for me. And it's funny, my guides were saying, why are you talking about this stuff? This is not what's really important at this moment. And it's just something that interests me. And they were saying that at this moment there are many more, much more important things that should be talked about than what I'm talking about. But yeah. So hold on a second. This is, yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go into a channeling now, and I'm going to ask them, so what is the important thing that we should be focusing on now? And today is March, where are we at? March 16th, 2024, a day before St. Patrick's Day. When St. Patrick drove all of the snakes out of Ireland. So here we go. Greetings, we are that one that you know as Mary Magdalene, and we are here, and we are here, and we are here. And this being has been known to go off on tangents, not only in speaking, but also in his research. And that is just a part of who he is, and we commend him on following his interests, but we would like him and we would like all of you to know as well that the most important thing that you should all be focusing on is love at this moment. Many things on your planet will be revealed as they are being revealed, and this is just a part of the process. Many of the things will be surprising to you, and many of them will not be surprising to you. But understand that this is just a process. This is not the end result. Many of you focus on this as the end result. This is the process of discovery. This is the process of revealing all that has been hidden. That is all it is. It is just a process. So many stop here in their processes. But what we would say to you is that this is just a process that you're going through. It's not about knowing the information. The information is not the most important part. The most important part is, how do you integrate all of these things? How do you integrate and how do you forgive all of the things that have been hidden and all of the wrongs that have been done to you as a society, as a world, throughout all of your history? When that comes revealed, does it make you unhinged? Does it make you insane for a short period of time? What does it do to you? That is what this process is about, and that is why it is going so slowly. It is important that you all integrate all of these ideas and that you do not jump into the polarities. So it's very important in these times to not be polarized, to understand that information has been hidden from you. Many of it will be shocking. Much of it will be shocking to you. But understand that you are you and you are love and you are going through a process in order to find love. But you need to see everything that was not love up until this point, and that is what this is. So don't get caught up in the details of this information. Get caught up in your love. Get caught up in your forgiveness. Get caught up in your understanding that you are love and that your ability to forgive, your ability to not let this information interfere with your immune system, interfere with your body-mind complex, so that you can see this information and you can see it and you can let it go and understand it, so that it does not become a part of you, because this has been a part of you for centuries. It has just been hidden. It is just being revealed now because it is time for it to go. It is already gone and you are already at your goal, but it is important for you to go through this so that you reach your goal with your integrity intact. All right, well, that's pretty cool message. Yeah. I guess I do. I often get kind of caught up in all this stuff too. But yeah, in the end, right, the most important thing is that we're loved, and we have our own things to do. Like I have some music to write. I have a walk to take. And whether or not this is one way or the other, I'm still going to take that walk, I'm still going to write that song. So I'm going to go into a Pocket of Peace now. Pocket of Peace is a guided meditation, and it's a guided meditation to bring some peace into our worlds, into our planet. And if you're welcome to join in if you like. Some people like to play music, some people like to sing, some people like to dance, whatever it is. Join in if you'd like. And so let's do this. Pocket of Peace. I'd like you to imagine that you are in a place that makes you feel super relaxed. Oh, wherever it is, just feel that feeling. Yeah. And in this place, I'd like you just to imagine, take a few deep breaths in it. You're there. And I'd like you now to imagine that this mist of unconditional love enters your space and surrounds you with a gentle, energetic hug. And it just feels so good. It feels so warm, feels so relaxed, and it feels so life affirming and loving. Ah, it just feels so good. And then I'd like you to imagine that this love permeates throughout your whole body. And it's just wonderful love. In this love, there's no regret or there's no worry. This is unconditional love. This is your birthright. You don't have to do anything, say anything, have anything, not have anything. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have, what possessions you have or don't have. This is yours, and it's always been yours, and it'll always be yours. No matter who you are loved unconditionally. And what a powerful statement that is, and what a powerful thing that is for all of us around here, the whole humanity. Everyone you look at on both sides of the coin are loved unconditionally, no matter what judgments you pass on them, no matter what judgments are passed on them on this plane. They are loved completely and utterly unconditionally. And see how that starts to change and to lighten up your world a bit, and to lighten up the way that you see the world, that you can start seeing with your Christ eyes rather than seeing with your physical eyes. And you can start to lighten up that load of the planet and all that judgment, and help you to walk down that middle path a little bit more. It's so powerful, this unconditional love, and it just feels good, right? You feel like, you feel more at home than you've ever felt in your life, and you just feel good, like really, really good and refreshed. And this love cannot be contained. It is so powerful that it just expands out into the space that you're in. So if it's outside, the air and the wind, the ground, the trees. If you're inside, it's the windows and the floor and the carpets. But everything is just turning into love. It's illuminated with love. And then this love just wants to expand even more, because everything here is just shining with so much love, and it expands out into the highways and byways and streetways and river waves and ocean waves and all of the frequency waves as well, all of the G's, G, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 maybe. And it's shooting out through all of that. And so we are clearing up all of these different water waves and ocean waves and frequency waves and putting love into them. And now we're also putting love into those clouds that don't seem to come from nature up in the sky. And we're putting love into them now. They are made of love. You look up there and you see them, and you know now that they are love, and they're raining down love on everyone that's walking in that rain. It's love, it's love, it's love. And this is our power. This is the power of love, to transmute everything into its original form, because it's all made out of love. It's just changed its form. It's like water that's turned into ice. We're just turning it back into water. And so everything is now made of love, and everyone is feeling this love, and it's traveling at the speed of love, which is the fastest speed in the universe, because it's the only speed, because love is the only thing that exists. All of these other concepts of speed don't even exist, because in truth, love is the only thing that is there. And so it travels at the speed of love, which is the speed of truth. And you can see everyone is downloading this energy from the mass consciousness. It's going everywhere. And everyone's just stopping what they're doing and say, oh man, I feel really good right now. I don't know what that was, but I feel really good. I feel like, I got this thing. I was walking around in this dark, rainy tunnel. I didn't know where I was, and I couldn't see anything in front of me, and I had lost all of my hope. But now the lights are on, and I can see exactly where I am, and I can see that none of this stuff can get in my way, because I am moving forward, and I am so much bigger than all this tunnel. It cannot keep me anymore. I've broken through it, and now I am standing taller than all of the oceans. And that's the power of your love, and that's how big you really are. You are so big. You're so much bigger than all that stuff, all of those problems, and you just walk gingerly over those problems now, and you start walking, maybe even strutting, because now you're filled with love, and you can just strut. You're strutting like a Marvel superhero. Look at you just walking down the street with all that love, and everyone's seeing that love too, and they're saying, yeah, he's got the love. I want that love too. And they're starting to download, and everyone's just strutting down the street, just feeling the love. And now this love is so strong that it's going through all of the stories now, that all of the narratives that we're we're being presented with, and they're all changed into stories of love, 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 love. Every time you turn on any of your devices and you see any stories, they're all stories of love, 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 love. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that exists. And now we're seeing everything for what it really is. And so when we shine our love on shadows, the shadows disappear. The reason is because the shadow wasn't there. It was just a lack of light. And so we're shining out into all those shadows, and we're seeing the light, and we're seeing the love in everything. Look at that. What a beautiful world. What a beautiful world. All right. So that's Pocket of Peace for day 328, March 16th. At 5:16 in the evening, early evening here in Japan, and I'm off to make some nabe, or make some hot pot. Cut lots of vegetables. So I hope you guys are hopeful, and as they say in Okinawa, I'm not sure if they say it, go beach. Interesting story about Okinawa before I go. I think it has something to do with one of the reasons that I'm here in Japan. Is that my grandfather, he fought in World War II, and he came over. He was actually fighting in Okinawa, in Go Beach territory, and he got bayoneted in the back and survived. But he, this was in the beginning of the war, so he just kind of got off the boat within, I don't know how long it was. In my imagination, it's probably a few hours, maybe it's a day or two. But he was bayoneted, and then they shipped him to Hawaii, and he was staying at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel, which is at that time one of the two big hotels that were there. And it's a beautiful hotel. It's a pink hotel. And so all of that was where everyone was sent for R&R. And so he spent most of the war there recuperating from his injury. But then after that, he spent the rest of the war, working on the base, and then just, living in Hawaii. So that was my story. But his experience here, coming here, and so it's kind of interesting. I feel that there's some sort of fate involved in this because I never really planned on coming here in the first place. It just kind of happened out of the blue, and it's still happening 23 years later. So anyway, that's my very long thing for today. I hope you guys are hopeful. Tell me what you think about that kind of concept of sharing the graphics and all that kind of stuff. If you're interested, or if not, whatever. I'm not whatever, but either way, I'm open to anything. So hope you're hopeful, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. Thanks, Michael, for joining in, and everyone else as well. Ciao for now. Let's see.